Hello, everybody out there on YouTube, and welcome back to the NNSCRA Sports Channel, where we are here for coverage of the NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series as we're getting set for Daytona 500 qualifying, where we are going to determine who's going to be starting in the front row for the Great American Race. And I am Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, and also please welcome my co-commentator for Daytona 500 qualifying. Please welcome David Rivera. How you doing, David?
Doing good.
Awesome. So the drivers we have total for this season, at least who we have drivers returning like Trent Dunham, Dylan Young, Michael Norman, Danny Wells, Kyle Matthews, David Rivera, Chris Michaels, Zachary Fitzwater, Charles Sanford, Bob Jones, Matt McIntyre, Cody Lamas, Peachy London, Tanner Sullivan, Angel Navarro, Preston Blord, Jesse Setti, Chris Washer, Jessica Sheldon, Rue McIntyre, Dylan Poteet, James Silverfox, Johnny Gardner, Sean Galligan, Joshua Collard, Austin LaPlante, James McLeod, Seth Cole, Charles Jackson, Anthony McCrory, Dorian Facepuncher, Dougie Shears, PJ Williams, Stephen Pollard III, and Dylan Thoreau. Rookies we have in the field for Season 8 are Ryan Acosta, Austin Mongold, DJ Curtis, Carson Gum, Zach Buchanan, Tim Walsh, and that's it. And then also for drivers coming back from previous seasons that are back in Walmart Cup this season include Daniel Day, and I believe that's it. And David having mic issues.
Alright, this should be fixed now.
Alrighty. So yeah, pretty much that is our field for this season's Walmart Cup action. But with that said, let's go ahead and get this qualifying session underway. 20 minutes for these guys to race out on the track, and they're battling for the first and second spots. Because remember, whoever's on the front row will keep those spots for the Daytona 500. And already we see a couple cars coming out of pit road to get on track, and they are Dougie Shears and James McLeod. And real quick, you're going to experience a frozen screen for a moment. That's because I'm pulling up some information that I should have done in the beginning, but now we got that taken care of. James McLeod, he comes in here in, I'd say this is his fourth straight season in the Walmart Cup Series in his career. Last season, he had a rather struggle of a season, but picked up a lot of good finishes in the second half. Finished the season 26 in standings, 5 top 5s, 11 top 10s. So it's respectable for the amount that's done, but he would definitely love to forget last season and hope he can be in contention for the chase once again here this season. And I'm trying to look for, as we got a few more cars coming out on track, I was trying to look for him. There he is. Dougie Shears, last season, he finished 33rd in the standings. He did get 2 victories, but other than that, he had some good finishes, but for the most part, he would always get wrecked out. So Dougie Shears is definitely hoping for redemption here in Season 8. And then we got a group of cars right here that is going to be an interesting look at. Here's Tim Walsh in the 45 Axe Apollo Dodge Dart this season, one of the brand new Dodge Darts here in Walmart Cup, as he is teammates with Ryan Acosta for Evernham Motorsports. Now, Tim Walsh I have seen compete in the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel, and he was very, very good, so we'll see how his experience will carry over into the Walmart Cup Series. But only his performances will tell that. Then behind him is Tanner Sullivan. Tanner Sullivan last season, in his rookie season, he finished in the 22nd spot in points. Had a pretty decent rookie season and won Rookie of the Season last season in Season 7. But can he break out and get victories this season? But we shall see. And then behind him is Kyle Matthews, who has just in the last several seasons in the Walmart Cup has just not had the best of luck. And somebody went through the grass. That was Charles Jackson, but he got saved. But Kyle Matthews, he wants to go back to victory lane and have a great season, and maybe moving back to the 5 car where he had his most success in. We'll see if he can prevail and overcome obstacles. Also now in this pack, you've got Matt McIntyre, who last season finished 30th in the standings, did get a victory, but struggled in the second half. So we shall see how Matt McIntyre's season can progress here in Season 8. Then you got Sean Galligan now in the 41 car for Ganassi Racing. He had a rather interesting season. He finished 35th, but he won 3 times. But Galligan, for the most part, struggled, but we'll see how Galligan will fare this season. So, David, with that said, with these group of guys, which out of these 5 do you see getting the most success here in Season 8? Between Sullivan, Matthews, rookie Tim Walsh, Matt McIntyre, and Sean Galligan.
At the moment, it'd have to be Sullivan. That's who I'm actually gunning for as of right now.
Yeah, Sullivan, like I said, he won the last season's Rookie of the Season honors, but he didn't win a race, unlike Benjamin Miles, who's competing in the NNSCRA Walking Dead series, collaborating along with the Walmart Cup. But we'll see how Sullivan, like I said, how he will progress here this season. And then 2 cars up ahead, there is Austin LaPlante, who would definitely want to forget last season. He finished 38th in the points last season. During the second half of the season, he went from being top 10 in the standings to way back there. So he would love to redeem himself by getting some victories or good finishes and making the chase. Dougie Shears going into pit road. Danny Wells in the 4. He had a decent season. He finished 16th in the standings. Didn't get that many great finishes, but maybe he can step it up and maybe go back to victory lane. Then back here you got Cody Lamas, who's in the 15 again. He finished the season in 25th in the standings. Was more consistent than most drivers, but he didn't get a victory or that many good finishes. So Cody Lamas would love to step up his game here in Season 8. And then behind him in another Dodge Dart is Zachary Fitzwater in the number 9 Doritos Dodge. Zachary Fitzwater had a pretty successful season last season. Finished 4th in the chase standings, won twice, nearly won the championship. So Fitzwater is looking forward to how he can carry over that performance to the brand new Dodge Dart for Richard Petty Motorsports. And then behind him in the 88 is PJ Williams. Williams staying with Hendrick, but now to the 88 car. And he had a really good season last season. Won 4 times, had the most top 10s of anybody, 18 top 10s. And ended up finishing 9th in the standings, but he was one of those contenders at the final race of the season at Armory Digital, but maybe he can carry that luck over into the 88 car. Then behind him is another last season chaser, Charles Sanford, but he won twice last season, finished in the 10th spot in points. Didn't run that well in the chase, but we'll see how he will perform here in Season 8. Behind him is rookie Carson Gum. Now, Carson is a good friend to me and David from Skype and TeamSpeak and playing games and such.
Oh, yeah.
I've only seen him perform mostly in the Mobile One Cup series for NNSCRA. We'll see how he will fare here in the Walmart Cup. And then back here, you got a big group of cars.
Yeah.
7 cars. Jessica Sheldon, who last season, she would like to forget, she ended up finishing 27th in points. And maybe she can turn
around.
She might turn her luck around. And then behind her is Rue McIntyre, who's another guy who wants to forget last season. He finished 36th in the standings. We'll see how he can progress. Then you got Bob Jones in the 11. He had a decent season last season 7. He finished 8th in the point, or not 8th, 18th in the standings. Had some good finishes, but didn't get that victory he was hoping for. Behind him is another rookie, Zach Buchanan, who I have seen compete in many offline series in NNSCRA competition, most notably in the Snickers Cup series. We'll see how he will fare here in the Walmart Cup. And then behind him is Dorian Facepuncher, who was in the chase in Season 7. Finished 6th in the standings. Didn't get a victory. He came close a couple times, but he had a consistent Season 7. We'll see if he can continue that here in Season 8. Behind him is returning Daniel Day, who is a 2-time winner here in the Walmart Cup Series. Won back in Season 1, and then I believe in Season 4 when he replaced the banned Dylan Schwallenberg. And then he ended up getting let go due to certain issues. But now he is back, hoping to get back to his former glory, now in the number 12 for Penske Racing. Then behind that group, we have another 6-car group of cars led by Johnny Gardner. Johnny Gardner came in midway through the regular season after race 13. He debuted at Dover, which was race 14 of the season. Almost won in his debut race, and he ended up finishing 42nd in the standings, but he surpassed the driver to 39 before him, Alex Hawkins. But I will say this, if the combined points of Gardner and Hawkins were in effect for an owner's point system, the 39 car would have been top 10 in the owner's standings. So Gardner had a pretty successful rookie season despite it being only 23 races. But now he is in a full 36 race season schedule, and this will be his first Daytona 500. And then up ahead of the group is James Silverfox, who made the chase in Season 7 via the LCQ at Talladega. And he ended up winning a normal race. I believe it was Chicagoland. And Silverfox finished 8th in the standings, so we'll see if he can carry that momentum here to Season 8. And then behind them, well, and apparently there was a wreck that happened.
Yeah, I see a couple of smoke there.
But I think they may have avoided it. But anyways, then we got Dylan Young, who is definitely another guy who wants to forget Season 7. He finished 23rd in the standings. Didn't have that many good runs. So we'll see if Dylan Young can step it up here. Then you got Trent Dunham, who had a rather up and down season. He ended up finishing 19th in points. But we'll see how Trent will fare here in Season 8. Then back here is Seth Cole. And Seth Cole had a rather struggling season. He ended up finishing 24th in the standings. Though he was very successful in qualifying, having 4 pole positions. So we'll see if Seth Cole can step up his game here in Season 8. And then in front of him is rookie Ryan Acosta in the 10. Ryan Acosta, who I have seen compete in other NR series, such as the Snickers Cup Series, Charles Jackson's NASCAR DeWalt Power Tools Cup Series, and among many others. And he had a pretty successful dual run in the Budweiser Shootout events that we co-commentated. I believe he won the Bud Shootout, but ended up finishing in the top 5 he won the LCQ and finished in the top 5 in the shootout, if I can recall. But we'll see how Ryan Acosta can carry that momentum over for Daytona 500 night. And then we've got another group of cars back here, as we got less than 8 minutes left in qualifying. Back here we have Austin Mongold in the number 16, a rookie who has competed in the Snickers Cup Series last season, Season 10 of Snickers Cup, and had a very successful rookie season. But will he carry that over to Walmart Cup as long as he don't blink into cars? I'm sorry, Mongold.
Oh boy.
But anyways, excuse me. And then behind him is Angel Navarro, moving from the 20 to the 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. He had a rather interesting chase for himself. He ended up finishing 14th in the standings, but he made the chase. But he wants to forget how he ran in the chase and hope to carry that over into this season and hope to get a victory. Then behind him in the 99 is Dylan Thoreau. Dylan Thoreau moving from the 17 to the 99. Dylan Thoreau had a rather good season in Season 7. He ended up finishing 15th, the highest of the non-chasers, and he won a race and was pretty consistent, so maybe that will help him move forward into the 99 for Season 8. And then up ahead in the 24, returning to his old glory from the early days of Walmart Cup, is Chris Washer in the 24.
Nice.
So we'll see if Chris Washer can reclaim old glory from the first 3 seasons that he was in that ride. We'll see.
Oh yeah, could happen.
Next to him is Jessie Setti, who was so close to winning the championship. She finished second in points, lost the championship to David
Yeah.
Rivera by 10 points, but she ended up going to victory lane 3 times. So we'll see if Jessie Setti can maybe pull off the big upset and win the championship. And then up here in the 61, Anthony McCrory. Anthony McCrory had a rather struggle of a season, finishing 28th, but he did get a win last season. But we'll see if he can step it up here for Season 8. And then back here you got Dylan Poteet, who started off Season 7 very strong, but then struggled the rest of the way, finished 29th in points. But we'll see if he can get back on track. And then behind him in the 17 is Pichu London. Pichu London finished 41st in the standings. Definitely a season he wants to forget. And then up here we got a small group of cars. There is last season's champion, David Rivera, running the Coors Light Haviland combination ride for the Daytona 500. David Rivera would love to be the first driver in the history of Walmart Cup Series to win 2 championships in a row, but it hasn't happened yet, but we'll see if it can happen. Up ahead of him is the champion previous to him, Preston Plord, not in the 42 this season. He's now in the returning number 21 for Roush Fenway Racing this season. We'll see if Preston Plord can get back on track. Although he did make the chase, but he finished 13th in points, didn't get a victory. And then behind him is another chaser from Season 7, Chris Michaels, now in the number 8 Budweiser car. And Chris Michaels had a very good season, finished 5th in the standings, but he didn't get a victory. Maybe he can win the Daytona 500. Then we got a couple more cars left. Here is Joshua Collard in the 4th and final Dodge Dart car for Richard Petty Motorsports. Joshua Collard had a rather interesting season. He got a lot of good finishes, but didn't get the victory, and he finished 17th in points. Maybe he can rebound and get into chase this season. And then I see excuse me, Stephen Pollard III in the 93 once again this season, and he had a really good season in Season 7, finished 7th in points and won twice. So Stephen Pollard III would love to go back to victory lane more here in Season 8. And then I'm also trying to look for anybody else I may have not talked about, but I think I've pretty much covered everybody. Unless there's one that I'm missing. Oh yeah, I do see one that I'm missing, right? Or actually a couple up here. First in the 54 is Charles Jackson. Charles Jackson had a very good season in Season 7. Despite finishing 12th in the chase, he won 3 times and had a very successful run in the number 19 car. Now he's back in the 54 for Joe Gibbs. And then I believe the final car left to talk about in the number 20 and the last rookie in the field is DJ Curtis. DJ Curtis I've seen compete in the Snickers Cup Series and won a race in the final season of Snickers Cup, but can he carry that over to Walmart Cup? That remains to be seen. Now I'm trying to look around to see if I have covered everybody. Actually, no, there's another one. The number 3 of Michael Norman. Michael Norman back in the 3 car. He had a very good season, finished 3rd in the points, almost won the championship, went to victory lane 3 times. So will Michael Norman get back in the saddle once again? Now I believe I have covered everybody. And indeed I have. So with less than 2 minutes in the session, currently the drivers that would be starting in the front row would be Chris Washer, or actually not Chris Washer, PJ Williams on the pole with Charles Sanford second. So these guys up here in this pack have a minute and a half left to try to get up to first and or second.
Yeah, it looks like they definitely got a good pace going for them too.
Yeah, and for the most part here during the session, it was Jessica Shell and Rue McIntyre on the front row from what I saw during the look-arounds. Currently in the back final row would be Daniel Day and Charles Jackson, but that might change because Jackson is up here in this draft pack. So we'll see if Jackson moves up at all. Let's see if I can find that 54. There he is. No, he actually didn't. I guess they're going slower. I guess because they've been out there for so long. More than 30 seconds left here in the session. It's final opportunities. And actually, Matt McIntyre managed to get up to second in that 14 car. So currently it would be Williams and McIntyre in the front row. 20 seconds left, but they'll be given extra time to finish the current laps they are on.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, so it'd be last opportunity. And we got a new second place guy. Dylan Thoreau in the 99 moves up to second. Zachary Fitzwater moved up to third. And PJ Williams actually extended his lap time. And we got 40 seconds left for the additional time for these guys to finish laps.
Nice.
So final opportunities for some of these guys to get to the pole or second.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be some of these guys in this pack. But then again, these guys I think are on older tires, so they're not really able to do a whole lot. We got 16 seconds left, and there's Dylan Thoreau, who's currently in second. Let's see what happens with this. Nope, nothing changed. Sorry. And qualifying is complete. The front row is determined. It is going to be PJ Williams on the pole with Dylan Thoreau in second for the Daytona 500. Thank you guys for watching Daytona 500 qualifying, and thank you, David Rivera, for stopping by for this session.
No problem, anytime, man.
But until then, the next event is the Budweiser, or not Budweiser, the Gatorade Duels. But until then, this is Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. Thrash Maniac 99, saying thank you for watching, and thank you for tuning in to the NNSCRA Sports Channel, Offline Racing at its best.